Now let's go ahead and download and install XAMPP. So I'm going to search in Chrome for XAMPP installers and downloads for Apache and Friends, and I'll click on the download link here. So this takes me directly to the Windows, Linux, and OS X downloads. I'm currently running Windows, so the latest version is 5.6.3. So I'm going to click on the download button. This will take a couple of minutes as well. So not too bad. I have Chrome set to download to my downloads folder. If you're not sure where it went, you can always show in folder, and that should show you where it is. Just go ahead and double click to run the app. Just go ahead and say OK. And we'll install everything. We're not going to use all of it this term, but it's good to have it. We don't need that. Okay, so that took 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to uncheck this box and click Finish. And it left behind a command window. I'm not quite sure why, but I've closed it before and it worked okay. So go ahead and close that. Now, what it did was on your C folder, you should now see a XAMPP folder. And inside of there, you should see something called XAMPP control. So I'm going to double click to launch that. And this is your main control panel for XAMPP. So what is XAMPP? XAMPP is the Apache web server along with a MySQL database. It also includes a FileZilla server if you want to run an FTP site. And it's got Mercury, which I believe is email, and Tomcat is Java servlets. And so we're going to start Apache and MySQL and FileZilla. So hopefully that all worked. If it didn't work, it's probably because you have something that's already running at port 80. And if you want to find out all the things that are running, there's this netstat, and it will show you all the ports that are currently bound, along with the name of any apps that have them bound. So it's possible that you already had port 80 bound, and that was causing it to fail. If you do, then go to Control Panel, and then Administrative Tools, Services. And there's a couple of things that, that can cause problems. So take a look and see if you have anything like a Windows web server or web service running, and anything called World Wide Web, anything like that. And if you have a service like that running, try shutting it down. Otherwise, if you can't figure out what has your port bound, if you have a port bound, go ahead and send me email and I'll try to help you work through it. So HTTPD, that's the Apache web server, which I just started. Now you can also set them up to run as services by clicking these modules, clicking these links here. So if you set those, then the Apache and MySQL and FileZilla will automatically be started when you reboot your system. There are also some configuration tools. You can browse the configuration files for Apache and for PHP, but we'll deal with that later. So one important thing to be aware of, if I just close this box here, that doesn't really stop XAMPP control. If I go here, you'll see that it's still running. So show hide does not actually make it go away. If you want it to go away, you either have to quit, like so, now it's really stopped, or if you forget and accidentally close it, you can right-click here and select quit, and that will work as well. So either way, if you quit it, Apache will still be running, so that's what you want. Now to test it out, I should have a web server running on my local machine now. So I can access it by saying localhost / and that takes me to the XAMPP homepage, English, and it comes bundled with some handy tools. So if you want to look at your PHP settings that are bundled in, that's all of those. There's also phpMyAdmin, which takes you to configuration information for MySQL. And we won't be doing anything with that today, but it's good to know that it's there. Now, in terms of the folder structure, in addition to XAMPP control, there's this htdocs directory. And this is the root directory where all of your XAMPP files live. And this index.html and index.php, those are what get displayed as your website homepage. So we'll come back to that in a minute. Before I do that, though, I'm going to want to download Notepad++, so I'll do that in the next video.